from many other stars or create actually a black hole.
Okay.
And that's a supernova.
Yeah.
Well, my name is Supernova Slum. I've been sitting here to this planet to heal through sound and vibration. It's my mission. I'm accompanied with my cousin, Brother Intifad Carpenter, who does the Sonics, and together we make Rah-Rah Entertainment. We just put out a double CD called The Medium of Balance. It's a double CD.
You see here of these images. Everything here is dealing with balance. You have the night, you have the day, okay? You have the projects in the background, or the ghetto, and you have the ancient classical civilization
with the
on
pyramids,
this way.
right
The pyramids,
here, right
yes,
here,
right there on that side, right? Then on the side of the pyramids, you have what I call a star Nubian and his sacred woman queen, representing, holding down the awareness and the cultural importance of knowledge of self for our people and for the youth and so forth. And then on this side, you have what I call the Nubian thug. Okay, the Nubian thug is the brother that has knowledge of self of his culture, but he's in the streets, you know. He's into the gangs, he's into the, you know, the whole street vibration. But his purpose is utilizing street vibration still to bring the balance and righteousness, but he's just in the streets. And then his sister, you know what I'm saying, reflecting him in the streets. And hip-hop, it looks the same way. You have your Mos Defs, your Commons, your Dead Prez, your Erykah Badu's, and the IREs representing this side. But black music is a split. There's nobody bringing the wholeness together, bringing it together to show that we're all in the same room, or we're all really part of each other.
Welcome everybody to CTV Live, and with me is Supernova Slum. Welcome, Supernova Slum.
Welcome, thank you.
Okay, Supernova Slum is that your real name, first of all?
My real name.
Yeah?
Yes,
You're a get-up.
Get-up.
Everybody must probably want to know why you dress so.
The red, black, and green are the African liberation
Yeah.
colors. And what I'm doing, I'm utilizing in the streets in America, the rags are associated with different gangs. You know, like in the biggest gangs in the United States are the Bloods and Crips. From the West Coast.
Right.
You know, they
And that's blue.
red and blue.
And as you see, you've seen the red and blue on us. Most people think they're just regular gang colors. But it's a little more deeper than that. The red represents the father, universal principle, the father element, the fire. And the blue represents the feminine principle, universal element of the mother, the water. Together they're balanced. So also teaching the brothers who are Crips and Bloods, foundations and the Kemetic foundations, the Egyptian foundations of their culture. In ancient Kemet, what we call Egypt, this was represented as the South, Lower Kemet, and blue or white, Lotus, was represented for the North. When the ancestors were separated, they were easily infiltrated and bombarded by foreign sources, and were used against each other to, you know, destroy each other themselves. But when they unified themselves in Smai-Tawi unity, they were able to transform themselves and bring science and mathematics and the other disciplines that we can today in this time activate. So by inspiring the gangbangers, the Bloods and the Crips and other gangs to unify for liberation. If you're a real gangster, you're gonna ride for your freedom. If you're a real gangster, you're gonna fight for your consciousness. You know, Crips used to be an acronym known as the Continuous Revolution in Progress, Conscious Revolution in Progress. That's what the foundation of the Crips stood for. Also, at one point, the Piru Street Crips used to be one gang, used to be the Bloods and Crips together, and they were both one under the Black Panthers. So when brothers and sisters understand the foundation of their gangism and understand that it was founded on liberation and black power, they'll understand their purpose. So in our music, we try to bring those elements about in Hotep and foundation and
Where
foundation.
is it? Look at the crown. This is an ancient Kemetic Nimbus crown that the Paheru, which was the true name for the kings or queens in ancient Kemet, what they miscalled Egypt, or they miscalled pharaohs. Pharaoh is a Greek term,
Okay.
and it's a foreign name. So every time we utter the word pharaoh, describe our ancient ancestors, we actually cause ancestral treason or disrespect. So the name is Paheru. The Paherus wore the Nimbus crown to symbolize their royalty and their foundation stability and awareness of their culture. So in these modern times, I have my crown. You know, and I'm allowing the youth to see me with my crown, to inspire them, if they don't actually wear the physical crown, to just take back their mental and spiritual crown.
What about the Native American suede?
Oh yes, I call this the Nubian Native American suede podessa. This right here represents the two cultures of the indigenous people of the Americas, and also the Nubian people, because the Nubian Kemetic people also wore the same thing too. And there are a lot of similarities between the Native Americans and the Africans on the continent. The feather
Right.
A lot of people, when they see the feathers,
Yeah,
they
the
go,
feathers.
oh, you're an Indian. But they don't understand that from the Zulus down to the Bantus to the Maasais to the Nubians, all wore the feathers. And the feathers
Okay.
symbolize different things. But for one, in Kemet, the feathers symbolize Ma'at, truth, balance, and righteousness.
Ma'at.
The intert, or the goddess, as the Greeks will call her, of justice, wore the Ma'at feather. And I wear the Ma'at feather to remind me to keep my heart light as a feather. A lot of people in the culture, a lot of times, they glorify our ancestors. We built pyramids. We had science and mathematics and medicines and wonderful things in the past. But we don't live it now. You know, a lot of us, because of colonialization and religious indoctrination, have succumbed to everybody else's spirituality or everybody else's religious way of life and cultural way of life, and forgot our own. So, not knocking anybody else's thing, I felt the need by the tutelage of my spiritual father, Baba Heru, to give discipline in how to live in this day and time and be an example for the youth, how to live and be hip, living your culture, your African culture, and practicing the principles and living the principles of your culture.
Over the years, my father, who initiated me when I was the age of 5 into the Kemetic legacy. Now, I say Kemetic as opposed to Egyptian, because we didn't gyp anybody. That name, Egyptian, is a foreign word that was coined in order to slander African high culture. We are Kemetic people. Kem is the oldest sound for the essence, which is called in that flat, non-resonating sound, black in English, a sound which contains the word lack. It's a mantra that is not too good for our people. So I'm Kemetic Kushite, following the ancient Nubian path of Ma'at, the ancient path of our Nile Valley ancestors, the ones who built the pyramid, who brought the Sphinx, the ones who brought us science, mathematics, astronomy. All this divine sciences came out of a culture, of a people who were in tune with nature. And so, as I walked the streets of New York City as a police officer, and I observed what our condition was, I came to the realization that the only way to overcome the problems that we have, the crime that we have among each other, is for us to have knowledge of self. The time has come for us to turn to our culture, to turn to African high culture. And when I say that, what do I mean? Well, when you look at Africa today, Alex Haley, he told us to go to Gambia. He went to Gambia and he found his roots. But I say it's time for us to take it all the way back to Nubia. I don't want my roots planted in the memory of slavery. I was a king. I was a ruler of the world for thousands of years before I was jacked by some of my own lack of unity, causing foreigners to come into our land and take advantage of our condition and put us on boats and ship us across the sea. Go to the walls of your Nile Valley culture, and there you will find the supreme expression of respect for life, symbolized by Ankh. It is the Holy Mother, the Holy Child, and the Holy Father. Now that is a trinity of perfection. The woman had not yet become a ghost.
You know that, what's that symbol that, you know, the Ankh, or the symbol that, you know, Sister Erykah Badu was seen, you know, wearing?
That's one of the symbols that represents balance, harmony, reciprocity, which we call the principles of Ma'at. It's one of those principles that represents spirituality and growth and development with balance and harmony and respect to your ancestors. We call them symbols. I call it a language. And that symbol's like an icon. Once you open it up, it opens up your culture and exposes you more to yourself.
It's the human body. That's all it is. Back, this is the womb, this is the head, the thoughts, your circle of thought, your crown. Okay, this is your crown, your womb of thought, your consciousness, right? This right here is your foundation, your body. Okay, your foundation that holds your womb of thought up. And these are just your balanced extensions of yourself. With just, like I was saying earlier, just reminding themselves to hold their lives in their hands, to walk their lives. They're responsible for their lives. It represents male and female. It's an androgynous symbol. That second that is the feminine life force to say, hey, if you don't keep your life in order,